Hello, this is Mumuakai and welcome to the Specter of Torment any percent guide using the Skeletal Sentry route. I wanted to make this guide so that beginners have some point of reference for learning this game. I'm hoping that this will better communicate what needs to be done on each screen and by each action. So first we're going to start, make sure that VSync is enabled. I have a file ready to go, so I just copy and paste it over. It has my name and a color code equipped. You are allowed to use armor codes. Mash start to skip the intro cutscene, and then mash jump and attack to get yourself moving as quickly as possible. So from here on out, I'm going to let the stage play at normal speed. I'm just going to explain how the character controls and some basic movement things that you should be keeping in mind. You'll notice that as I come up to the top of a ledge, I'm cutting, and I'm doing that to remove some of the amount of hang time that I have. That's more important when you have rail mail equipped. There's a skull in the wall to the left. Now that is a slower skull to get than the one we replaced it with. It has been routed out. Instead there would be a skull in the lich shard that we picked up. So in the next room, there's going to be the first skull you get. You're going to walk off this ledge and then do 2 upwards dash attacks to get it. Now this room, it's actually fastest to do a backwards damage boost, and again we'll go over things in slow motion later. This enemy is sometimes very tricky. You're going to want to make sure that, especially when you're entering this room, you don't get stuck climbing on walls. Holding directional inputs while up against a wall will make Spectre automatically climb, and it's one of the more annoying things to have to get used to when learning the character. This is Dirt Mountain, and there are a number of ways to get through it, but this is the way that I found to be most comfortable and works out to be the fastest for me. Going past the dragon, the lantern. I like to go up in this room so that I can grab pretty more gold. Now money is very tight in this route, especially the way that I've been doing it, so try to pick up as much excess gold you can without deterring too much from the main path. A very late jump will help you get that red skull right there. In the next room I'm going to be using the setup to get the skull that's up near the top. You cut 4 times, do a full jump, and wait until you get an upwards dash attack. It should work out every time. And that trick right there was a trick found by Gentle. It's the Gentle skull now. It can be easy to miss that trick, so you'll want to spend some time practicing it. Making your way to the second to last room here, just upwards dashing the dragon, downward slashes. Remember that slashing is faster than your basic run speed, so you're going to want to try and dash anywhere that you can until you have rail mail equipped. And then here's the Black Knight fight. So, Black Knight has a guaranteed stun lock for him. He's really annoying to fight the second time around, but the first time around you can at least reliably get him in the corner like this. And I have a visual cue, that little waterfall, I basically try to prevent him from ever going past it. And if you ever hit him too soon, he'll escape, which I believe happens here. Yeah. He gets past me very late in the fight. That's not a big deal. Basically, the way you want to end this fight is with Terrapin as close to the right wall as possible. You're only allowed to leave the stage when Terrapin and Spectre both make their exit, so even if you were on the far right, you wouldn't be able to leave the stage just yet. Terrapin has to break the wall first. Alright, and now I'll be explaining the stage in more detail. Climbing up past this first ledge, there's a beetle coming up. On the way down, if you do an early cut, you won't do a dash attack on the beetle on the way down. You only want to destroy the dirt block and then flip the beetle. Once it's airborne, you can actually jump up, do a dash attack, and completely clear the ledge, which is faster than jumping back and forth. On this wall, you just want to recognize that you started climbing at all, and then you'll be high enough to jump over the gap. Now the beetle coming up is behind some dirt blocks. You can do a similar trick as you did before, but you won't be able to get high enough. Since you can't clear the gap, what you want to do is you want to make sure you start doing your ledge hop as soon as possible. Now you only start climbing once you actually hold a direction against the wall, so if you wait until you are very close to the top and then you start holding right, you will start climbing at the very top and you won't get any of the walking animation, just the hop animation. Clearing the next gap, you'll want to cut at the top of it. This will get rid of the dirt blocks, then hop immediately so that you don't have any of your recovery animation from the scythe getting in the way of your movement. Here, if you do a hop, you'll actually be able to get that green gem and be at terminal velocity without having to stop holding right. Do a jump attack on the beetle. Anytime you can do a full jump dash attack, you're getting the full benefit of your dash attack for movement speed. There's not much going on in this room, just make sure that you jump high enough and dash late enough that you don't have to climb over the ledge. This room is not particularly difficult either. Walk off and do 2 upwards dash attacks. Now, backwards damage boosting is something you're going to be doing more prevalently in low percent, but it still has applications for any percent. So as you're approaching an enemy, basically all of the knights have a slide to the end of their walking animation. You're going to use this to your advantage. Get as close to the dragon as you can. Turn left the last possible second and do a cut. You'll slide into the dragon while facing left. Do a jump to cancel your recovery animation, and then just drop down the ladder. That can be very difficult because Specter actually slides the least of the 3 knights so far. In this room, you're going to want to walk off this ledge and do an up dash attack, and then you're going to do 2 dash attacks on this Skeletal dude. You want to get as close as you can to him, and as close to the left wall as you can, without holding a direction when you do that dash, that you can cut straight down into the ground, collect the money that falls out of the dirt, and then move on your merry way. As you're falling down, do not hold right. You will start climbing that wall. Make sure that you get close to the wall after you're clear of the ladder, and then do an early cut so you don't have landing recovery. Now in this room, it's been discussed back and forth how to save the most time, but this will be the sexy slash, and you're going to cut straight through the 2 top dirt blocks and then jump off the wall. This will release the money in it, and you'll be jumping off the last dirt block to get that money really easily. And here's another backwards damage boost. This is really difficult because the slimes are hidden and you're still recovering from your previous wall jump. So if you don't get it, don't be too upset. Collect your money, and you should have a little over 400 right now. So the room after here is the room with Dirt Mountain, and this is one of the more annoying debated rooms on how to get through. You're going to want to do the upper route here, so you're going to do an upwards dash close to this dragon. Make sure you land on top of these dirt blocks. Land, then cut, jump, dash attack the first slime, you'll hit the second slime, back up just a little bit before you do the next dash attack so you don't land in the slime and take damage. And then you'll be able to cut cleanly through the rest of Dirt Mountain. Tolu, the low percent runner for Specter of Torment, has found a much more difficult strat that I still do not go for, but there certainly is even faster ways to do Dirt Mountain. Coming up in this room, there's a beetle pretty early on, and you could do a jump dash attack, but I like to flip him over and get up on this platform to get the 30 gold, which also allows me to be as high up on the lantern for an upwards dash attack, and that's less climbing on the ladder. Climbing on ladders is very slow, so you'll want to avoid it wherever possible. This dragon right here is just one quick dash attack to the left, and then one more back up to the right for the second skull. Now in this room, there is the first health pickup, the permanent health upgrade. You can go left and pick it up, and this will be very slow, but having more health early on if you need to, go right ahead. You can buy this later, it's just 1,000 gold, and that will cost you less time, or just completely avoid it. But running Spectre with 4 health is very difficult. Doing a late jump off that ledge will allow you to pick up this skull with an upwards dash attack. Do another up dash attack on the dragon. It doesn't matter if you go down though. 2 quick dashes on this guy, and then you want to hop immediately so that you can get a max jump height climb on that wall, jump, and then do an up dash attack on the green skeleton. Now this room has another skull up near the top. You're going to cut 4 times, which will buffer the amount of time you need to wait for those bubbles to be high enough. Do a full jump and wait until you're just below the bubbles. An up dash attack should grab you the skull. Turn left at the last moment to backwards damage boost. Now for the gentle skull, you're going to want to turn left and do a dash attack against the dragon, bounce off his back, and then go into the screen transition. And this will barely give you enough height to grab the skull, and then do 3 quick dash attacks in succession to get through this following room. So here's a trick called ladder skipping, and we're finding more spots to do this in the run wherever applicable. But the way it works is that Spectre jumps faster than he climbs for vertical movement. So in this next room, you're going to see that the wall on the right is covered in grass, and there is always an indicator for slippery walls that Spectre can't climb. But the wall on the left is perfectly climbable. So by letting go of the ladder without holding any directions, and then tapping left immediately, we start a climb. Then let go of left immediately and do a full jump, tap left, jump again, tap left, jump again. And you're not allowed to hold a direction after the jump, or you'll just start climbing the wall again immediately. Now dealing with these slimes is very annoying, so you're going to want to pay attention to their movement as soon as you enter the room. Find the nearest one that you can actually tell where it is, and make sure you damage boost in the appropriate direction. They can give you a lot of frustration and terrible setups. Just try and get through the room as quickly as possible. So we're finally coming up on the first boss. If you need more help, the dinner plate is right there. Make sure you mash start. I like to have 2 start buttons equipped for the ultimate in tech smashing. L1 is my other start button. And when the fight begins, you're going to want to do 1 single dash attack on Black Knight, follow him, get to the right one. And then you'll notice that every time I send Black Knight backwards, I'm not letting him pass that waterfall that I'm basically hovering just above. You're going to hit him every single time, making sure that he doesn't get past it, but don't let yourself fall too low, don't let yourself get hit by Terrapin, don't hit him too early or he'll slip past you. Just like he does in a moment, I hit him too soon and he gets on the other side of me. And then as you finish the fight, the closer to the right you and Terrapin are, the better. Specifically, Terrapin being more to the right is better than Specter Knight being more to the right, because Specter Knight can only leave once Terrapin actually breaks the wall. Do not mash start, just press it when you see Black Knight stand up and you'll be able to skip his text box as quickly as possible. And personally, I like to split when the fade to black occurs. The rest of this is just going to be the way to the next stage. You're going to mash, jump, and attack to get off the balcony every single time. Skip that cutscene with start, and then you're going to take the lower route here. Just break the wall on the bottom, get your 400 gold and a red skull. You should have over 2,000 gold and 6 skulls as you enter the flying machine. And that does it for this segment of the guide. The next guide will be talking about the flying machine, all the skulls, the checkpoints you'll have to break, and the tactics there. Till then, stay spooky.